I remember in 2022, I used to comment on Ankur Wariku's post every single day. Whatever he posts, I say, okay, I resonate with it. I absolutely agree with that. And I remember I reached out to Ankur for a help, and he replied. That was a one-word reply, but just look at that. He replied me where he could probably get 10k, 20k daily DMs. Go back in any point of this podcast, go at any time, and take a screenshot and share it on social media and mention us, Pranav and me. Pranav is available as by Pranav Pawar, I guess, and
Yeah.
I will be available as Yarshu. You can get the social media links of both of the people everywhere. Just share it on social media. As I mentioned, if you are showing up and you're mentioning that you watched this video or you're a part of this podcast, you don't know how much visibility you get just from this screenshot. So yeah, do it. Like, why are you waiting for? And Pranav, please make sure to get this on the highlight of the podcast. I
Sure,
wanted to
sure.
get
Works,
people
works.
more leverage because you never know where you get.
Hey guys, today we have Harsh Mishra with us, and yeah, I mean Harsh is one of the those persons I have known from a very long time. Like I think I know you from those days कि वो thumbnail designs करते थे and like those early
Correct,
days.
correct.
And so I mean I really love seeing your journey like from that start to right now, like working with more than 10 well-known brands, I would say. So yeah, would
Hmm.
love to know, like would love your introduction.
So, hello everyone. My name is Harsh, and I am currently building TheHarshWise, and it is available on every social media. And also, I am a graphic designer. If I say niche perspective, I am a thumbnail designer. I am working with a lot of YouTubers and brand. Working and worked both are correct because yep. So yeah, that's a quite little introduction about me. Right now, I'm building an AI website where you can learn AI, how you can use AI tools, and just go and search ai.theharshwise.in. You'll find that. So yeah.
Like I first discovered you when you did that podcast with Ritin, that the very old podcast. I think one of your first podcasts with him, and that was the time I
Yeah.
discovered you in that Fueler community. So yeah, I mean, I think that those first videos of ours, I mean, really worked well. Like video wise, बहुत
Huh.
खराब थे, पर like the way we made it and like uh we showed our work on the internet. I mean, I love that about you. Ki, like you really showed up regardless your English was very bad. You didn't pronounce a lot of words, but still you showed up. So yeah.
Yeah. So I had this basic idea about content creation that you have to show up and you have to make content because there's a few. I learned about this concept about audience that whatever content you create, whether it is bad, whether it is very basic, whether it is very advanced, there's an audience for that. So there will be few people that will consume that content. And I was getting few DMs, and I have shared it a lot of time that whatever content I create, I get few DMs my Instagram that people reaching out to me and telling me that your content was great, you can do this better, or you can purchase a mic for that. At that time, I got used to get this, at that time, I was not even uploading any related to that, but I was just sharing, "Ki, okay, this video is recorded. I will be upload this video today." So people were reaching out in my Instagram and telling me that you can do this better, you can do that better. So yeah, somehow you get the audience. So that's the thing. Or also, if you are someone who is into building something, you should show it imperfectly. And I have heard this quote, or or somehow I inherited that. So the first concept was just do it. That whatever you are doing, you should go forward and just do it, and also show up imperfectly because along the way you will get better and get the perfect one. So yeah.
I mean, I was reading one of your recent post newsletters on like different types of lux. To be specific,
Hmm.
there are four kinds of lux. Uh, I had read it somewhere else, but you had mentioned it in your last newsletter. Like I felt it so relatable that like when I started my YouTube and then newsletters, both the things I did almost consistently for about 1.5, 2 years. And subsequently, I did a podcast with Dr. Sid Warrior, and that got me an internship with one of the startups. And then that cycle started, and that one thing of starting YouTube, I mean, that helped me a lot. So, like, would love to know like how that luck kind of helped you in those ways, and like would love if you like explain that 4 kinds of luck that you wrote.
Before getting further, I wanted to know, like, I wanted to say that there are four types of luck. In case you don't know, that there are four kinds of luck. The number one is blind luck, which we say act of God or things that we can't control. And especially people mention that, okay, I'm very unlucky because I born in this family, or I was very unlucky because I born in that religion or that country or that city. Some can complain that, hey, some can complain that, hey, look at that person, he born in a very rich family, or he is studying in that school, he have that equipment or that device. So it's all his blind luck, because he's getting something without his control, or you are getting something without your control. The second one is luck from awareness, or awareness. So we all know that we have something in our surrounding which we can take advantage of. Or you should, if you have read this book called The Almanac of Naval Ravikant, and it is my favorite quote all the time, that give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move earth around. It means you have this awareness that whatever the tools you have, the way you mentioned that I started content creation with the phone I have, and I had this bad English, I have this bad accent, and I was just speaking, roughly, and I didn't know like how to speak better with better grammar. So I started with whatever what I have, and today I am at this place. I can talk in English, I can convince my clients, and even I am in this podcast. So yeah, that's the second luck, which is luck from awareness. Even you can take advantage of your college if you know that, okay, this teacher can help me at that place, or this student can help me in this place, or if there's a senior that can help me in somewhere, or if there's a person who is in the WhatsApp group that can help you connect with someone. So if you have that awareness, you can go forward and connect with them. You can build your network. You can make friendship. So this is how things work. If you have awareness about things, you go forward and use them, and that's where you take the advantage of your awareness. That is your luck from awareness. The third one is luck from uniqueness. We all are unique. Somehow some people have this uniqueness of doing stuff, like maybe maybe I have more perseverance than you, maybe I am more, have this willpower to try more things. Some people try YouTube for one time, two time, three times, and if nothing works, they left the YouTube. But people like us try multiple times. Even if we fail, we keep trying because we know that it will work someday. And there are many examples. So it's not the very first time that we are doing it or anyone else is trying to do it. And maybe in future, if someone will watch this podcast after 10, 20 years, they will know what is the impact of doing these videos. Because yeah, uniqueness is something that makes each other but better. We each other unique. And if I take the example of Ruhi, Ruhi have this podcast called Business Podcast with Ruhi, and she interview people who are entrepreneurs, who have VCs, and that podcast was not working so great. So if you think about any niche content, so content which is specific for specific people, so it don't get so much of views. But just because just because she follow up multiple times, she don't stop herself from taking follow up to reaching out to different founders. That landed up that landed her an opportunity to do this podcast with Kamal Ravikant and Andrew Gazdecki, if I'm not wrong, and people like that. So this is how things work. If you have the perseverance, if so, we all have some uniqueness. And if I take one example, which I mentioned in my newsletter, that there was a guy in my classroom in 10th, that he was very, perfect in education. So he somehow or some way he got a good brain, that he was able to capture everything and every lesson he's learning, and whatever teacher teaching in the class, he know already about it. Maybe he is doing any coaching and tuition and whatever, but he have this capacity of grasping hard and complex topics and subjects, and he can easily answer. Whereas there's me, I don't know how to grasp this complex concept. So that person will have more luck than me. Teacher will know better him than me, because that person give the answers because he grabs all the concept what his teacher is teaching. Or also, if we take another example about me or about you, that we have this uniqueness, or we can say this habit of showing up in meetings. So whatever the meeting is happening, whatever this meet is happening, we try to turn on our camera, give the answers, tell our opinions, or just try to engage with people. That makes us unique and also creates much of opportunities. That we say now, luck is something that brings us opportunity. At the end, that's the important. So it creates some opportunities for us. Maybe at any place, like you can connect with someone who can be the host of that meet. You can make new friends, or maybe somehow your work get featured, or that person will tell you, okay, hey, just because you mentioned you have a YouTube channel, can you share your link in the chat? And somehow you get few subscribers, or while in a meet you mentioned that you are a thumbnail designer. Maybe somehow you get a new client from that. So this is how things work. And the last one, which is I'm forgetting, that luck from motion. And we all should understand this thing. Everything and anything that is happening in our life is all because of luck from motion. If it is bad or if it is good, everything has happened just because whatever the step we take. But we should always be looking forward to the positive side of things, and that's where this concept of luck from motion comes from forward. So we are doing this meet, and let me tell you, just because Pranav will mention something, just Pranav will talk about something, or it will talk about my newsletter or my work. This luck from motion will help me. This step, whatever I'm taking today, will help me maybe after 10 years or 20 years, if someone is looking back to my journey, or wherever I can, and even I can mention this podcast in future, that I was featured in this podcast, I was featured in that video. So it's everything came through this way. Or just because we started this podcast with this point, that we are showing up, we are showing our work, we are showing ourselves on the internet, just by taking few steps, few actions, whatever the thing we have, we are just doing that. So if you remember, I talk about love from awareness, and we should know that even if we have this awareness that things are there, if there is senior, or there is a person in the group, or any opportunity, or any awareness we have, if you don't take the action, if you don't take that step, things will never happen for us. So if we know that Pranav is a CEO of any big company, and I never reach out to him, I will never get any opportunity. I will never be able to make network with him. If if I made this podcast with Ritan very first time, so I was making content solo, and I was sitting in front of the camera making the video, and I never made podcast. I got this fascination to start podcast on my channel, which it was my first channel. It is known as Be Harshu. So if you go and search it, you will find it. I'm not making content there, so it is now dead. But I reached out to Ritan. That cold email was very long. Even if Ritan is watching this video, he know that how long that cold email was, a cold DM was. So I just reached out to him. I told him, hey, I am just trying to make a content, and here's a invite for you on my podcast. And similarly, I reach out to many people like Ritan. Then there's the guy called Abhishek Saha and something like that. So I reach out to multiple people, and I get response from Ritan, and we ended up making podcast. So just see it as ki I reached out to Ritan. That's ended up, getting in a Fueler community, and that Fueler community ended up making me more friends on internet. And these are not just ordinary people. Like, these are people are doing so great thing. If you go and search about Pranav, you will get to know about a lot of things. If you go search about Ritan, you will know how many people are joined with Fueler today. Just because Ritan is doing or promoting his stuff on internet, he's getting more and more name. And if you know this concept of word of mouth, the more you promote yourself, the more people will be ready about promoting you. And I, stated this on 2022. I remember that there's a concept of blowing your trumpet, that whatever you do, whatever you are trying to do, just show it on internet. Just show it with people. Let's suppose someone, I just tried it. Like, as a thumbnail designer, we have did so many times. And if you're a designer, or if you're any person, or if you're trying to do anything, just do this for 30 days, and just let me know if it worked for you or not. It will for sure work. Just try to create that one project that you want to show to your dream client, or maybe that dream person you want to work with. Just create that work. Let's suppose you're a designer. I will talk about designer's perspective. You can use it as a writer, channel manager, or whatever thing you wanted to do. So if you're a designer, just create designs for that creator. So let's suppose I wanted to reach out to Mr. Beast. I will make posts for Mr. Beast. I will make thumbnails for Mr. Beast, and I will daily tag him. And not just I will tag him on socials. I will tag his manager. So you can you can tag his manager. You can tag those designers who make thumbnails for Mr. Beast. Don't do it in a spammy way that you are just mentioning everyone and posting it on the net. You can do it in a good format that you can mention that, hey, I tried this format, and you mention some people, and you can even mention in the comments that, hey, if you don't want to tag, or if you don't want to tag in this photo, I will remove you. Just mention this point, because it somehow becomes spammy. I have seen people just following it in a blunt way, that did mention every other designer on his post and post it on internet. It becomes spam. People may block you, and that make me hinder your engagement, and you will never able to reach out to any person in future. And that led to your account deletion or community guideline post or anything like that. So yeah, you can target any creator that could be in your reach. Maybe he have 100k subscriber, or maybe 50 100 500k subscriber, or 100k subscriber, or 50k subscriber. You want to reach out to him, just create one design that you want to pitch to him, and mention him every single day. Not just pitch him, not just post this one. Just reach out to his DM, share your work to him, that, hey, let's suppose you're reaching out to me, hey Harsh, I'm a designer. I am hoping to work with you. Here's the recent work that I have made for you. If you love this work, please share it on your social media or use it. Don't forget to tag me or give credit to me. And just this only point will get you so many opportunities. And I remember I was talking with that designer who worked with Tanmay Bhat, and he mentioned that how he reached out to Tanmay Bhat. He just posted his work online, mentioned Tanmay Bhat many times, and then he reached out to him on Instagram, because LinkedIn and Twitter for him is very boring. That he mentioned. So he reached out Tanmay Bhat on his DM. Just think about how many people DM Tanmay Bhat. But he reached out to Tanmay Bhat and mentioning that, hey Tanmay, I made this design, I made this thumbnail for you. If you use it, just do mention my Instagram ID on your YouTube description. See, after reaching out to 2 3 times, he got this opportunity, and he got to work with Tanmay Bhat. And see how he get this boost. Now he get paid by Tanmay Bhat. He is working for many. He had made so many thumbnails, and not just Tanmay, but he worked with An Academy. He worked with Samay Raina and so many people. So there are many people doing the similar stuff. Something, just they show up, just they try things up, and they get the opportunity. So that's your luck from motion. You do stuff, and you get the opportunity. So yeah.
Had like a similar experience here. Like I did a podcast with Dr. Sid Warrior in Jan 2023, last year. And next week, like I think a couple of days later, Thousand Faces Club tweeted that they are like looking out for community outreach interns, where that intern had to like reach out to internet to creators to call them for podcasts and master classes. And I emailed them, and we got on a call, that interview call, and I showed him the podcast like I did with Dr. Sid Warrior. I showed him the email, and I was hired as an intern there. One of my first internships of my life. And then then similarly I did a podcast with not podcast internship with Build Academy, Vinci Krishna's startup, who is like Notion India ambassador. And then after finishing both the internships, after a while I got an offer from Fuel itself. So I got to intern with them for a couple of months, and then uh, the whole cycle continued. I was also using Notion alongside with it, and then did a few sessions of Notion for a couple of communities, Market Up, and then at Masters Union. And then someone referred me to uh, Nikhil, the one of the co-founders at high school, and then he reached out to me asking whether I want to like be part of their initial team to just get some of the collaterals done. He didn't ask me for long term basis. He wanted me just to like get the basic things done. But yeah, I mean, still now I'm a part of the founding team. So I mean, that couple of things I did in the start last year, I mean, that compounded to everything. Like the butterfly effect that you mentioned.
So I completely agree with your point, Pranav. So I have this one journey, or you can say one part of my journey that I can relate with about internship. So I remember I was in this Fueler ka meet, and they were talking about proof of work, and there so many people were there, and just because we had this habit of showing up in the meet, turning on our camera and talking, and also asking questions. So that somehow landed my first internship. Mehul Fanawala was there, and he saw me talking, and there I mentioned that I'm a graphic designer, and I never mentioned that I'm looking for any internship, or I'm looking for any opportunity. I just mentioned that I'm a graphic designer. I'm on Twitter. So in the end, someone asked me to share my Twitter link, or I should say that if you are in a meet where you given your introduction, you should share your link, or you have this one link for everything. Like you can share it, hey, this is my one link that can redirect you to every place, or you can have a Notion page, or for Notion, watch Pranav's video on Notion, and you can watch my video as well. I will be creating one. So yeah, you can create one this link for yourself, so you can use to promote your stuff. So I just talk about that, and after 2 3 days, Mehul reached out to me, ki, hey Harsh, are you looking for any internship? And I said, because I don't had any internship, I don't had any work, because I recently left that freelancing work I was doing with a brand, because I started with working with a brand because I was sharing my work in WhatsApp groups, and that led to get me this freelance work for the very first time. So yeah, this is how things work. When you share your work, you get people that talk about you, that can vouch for you, that take the credibility that he can do the good work. Just because if I know ki Pranav have made video on Notion, and which is perfect, which is very good for you, so I will say ki watch Pranav's video. If my work is better than anyone else, I will mention ki watch my video. If I have a resource, that if I know a person who have done this thing so many times, you can easily vouch for him. So yeah, this is how things work. When you show your work multiple times, people get this idea ki hey, he can do this thing perfectly. So yeah, this is how things work. I believe this is where this lux surface area concept come in. Do you want to continue, Pranav, for talking about lux surface area?
Yeah, I mean, we can continue like this lug surface area. I think kind of resembles with uh, my journey also. Like how like lug surface area. I think it means that you kind of increase the surface of your luck, and when you increase the surface of your luck, it increases your own opportunities in future. So that me sharing my work on Notion, like teaching people or helping others, that landed me like the work with high school that I'm doing right now. I mean, I'm not doing much work of Notion in high school, but still, Soul Notion gave me this opportunity to work with high school, and that's one of the reasons.
Ah, you mentioned this teaching Notion wala thing. I read this book recently called Authority by Nathan Barry, if I am not wrong. He is founder of ConvertKit, and in his book he mentioned about one famous website. We as a because I'm in college, engineering college, so also from computer science branch. So we have to code. We have to code, and I personally like web development, and I'm making my own website by coding. So we as a developer follow this website called csstricks.com. And while reading this book called Authority, he mentioned about his friend who built that website. And he also mentioned there's a guy who is very perfect into doing something, and there's another guy who teach it. So somehow the person who teach it, even if he's not perfect, even if he is not expert, he will treat as expert. He will get much more opportunity than him. And if you try to understand the basic factor behind getting more opportunity, that is luck. And just because he's showing his work, it is motion. You know that you are just teaching it somewhere, you are teaching it out there. People will understand from you. Maybe you can teach it better. I have seen so many times there are so many people who are very good at something, but are not able to teach that, are not able to explain what they do. Let's suppose I am maybe very good at science, but I am not able to teach you science. Maybe I am very good at coding, but I am not able to teach you coding. I cannot help you in a very better way. But there will be someone who know very basic about coding, who can write few codes, but he can explain it very better. Maybe your explanation skill is so good that you can be treated as expert. And I know so many people who just by explaining get better, and I believe it is called Feynman technique. In If I'm not wrong, just let me know that if you, so there's a layer that you are just learning, then you are writing. So this is how it increases. So it is called, I guess, learning pyramid, or maybe resemblance pyramid. That if you just learn, you will forget it earlier. If you just write it down, you can remember it for longer. If you teach it, it can. So also it is known as plasticity, I guess, neuroplasticity. If I'm not wrong, just you can let me know in the comments, or you can just let me know that there's a concept of neuroplasticity, that your brain remembers something for longer time. That if you just read it,
Right.
you will not remember it for longer time. If you learn from somewhere else or watching the video, the time of remembering it or the time of having into this thing on your brain will be very less. Then when you switch it from writing something on a diary or notebook or in Notion, you will remember it much more, or people mention it as muscle memory. When you write something, you remember it for a little longer time. And then there's another time, then another thing called teaching it to others. If you're reading, then writing, and then you're teaching, you will remember it for the longer time. Many of you observe that in your college, your professors have learned the formula. They have everything in their brain. So even if they are teaching it, they know what formula they have to use. How this question will be solved is in their brain, because they have taught this thing for so many years that this is now became solid in their brain. So this is how things work. When you do things, when you write things down, when you teach someone, and this is how I am doing. Whatever I'm learning, I started it doing on YouTube. Then I started doing it on my college. I stand in my classroom. I teach my friends or the students who are into my classroom. Few people give attention, few people don't. But in the end, it helped me in multiple factors. The number one, it helped me get better into communication. That also it boosts my confidence, because I'm able to stand in front of the class and I can speak. The other thing, that I'm able to explain. That's another point, that even my dream of becoming this public speaker is getting getting into the life, that yes, I am doing it here. So yeah, this is how things work. You try things because you know that it will make your luck much bigger. Even if some teacher will see you teaching, he know ki he can teach better. When you give more answers, teachers know ki he is the person who is very sincere. And also, as we are talking about luck surface area, let's get back to this point and let's talk about it very simple. So all the luck can be differentiated according to surface area. The more you do stuff related to all three lucks, because blind luck is out of your control, so you cannot do about something. But these all three lucks can do much for you. So the more you focus on these three lucks, luck from motion, luck from awareness, and luck from uniqueness, you create more surface area for you. So if you take two people's example, maybe a designer A or maybe a designer B. So we take the example of two designers, A and B. Designer A posts his work daily, but also he reach out to people and mention that this is my recent work. Then he compile his work, again share it. There's another designer who is designer B. He just share his work and do nothing. Designer A connect with more designers. He try to understand what is working in the industry. Designer B is just posting his work. Because Harsh came into this podcast and mentioned, hey, just share your work. Share your work and you will get the opportunity. Yes, he will get the opportunity. Just sharing your work will get you opportunity. That's for sure. But connecting with more people, connecting with more designers, sharing your work to few your dream clients will end up getting more and more opportunities, ton of opportunities. And there was a time, I remember last year, I had so many opportunities that I said no to so many opportunities, because there's a condition. Okay, let's suppose you never had any opportunity and you get 10 DMs ki, hey Harsh, are you open to work for our brand? Are you open to work for our channel? Are you open to design social media graphics for me? And if you have, so you can price better. If you have so many opportunities, you can price better. You can get more pricey or money related opportunities where you can get more money than what you are getting before. Just and think about something like that. You if you never had made any money, or you never had made any single penny from your skills, this is the time you get some money. Even if you're getting 100 rupees, you are making money. Even if you're making 50 rupees, or you're making 1000 rupees, or if you're making 10,000 rupees, there you are making money. Because this is how you created a streamline of money for yourself. Because not just you are sharing your work, you're connecting with more designers to understand what is price rate in the market, what is new trend, what they are trying, how they are reaching out to people. And I just tell you, Pranav, that I connected with so many designers right now that even if I make mistakes, I know where to reach out to, whom to take feedback from. If I don't know about something related to thumbnail, I will reach out to Achal. If I wanted to take any feedback for my thumbnail designs, even though I'm posting it on my social media, but I know whom to take feedback from. I know whose feedback is very important for me, because there are some industry experts whom you are connected with. Some people will become industry expert because they are teaching that. As I mentioned in the authority concept, that this book called Authority taught me this concept. When you teach something, you get better. And right now, everybody is doing the same thing. Not just they are learning, or not just they are creating projects, they are trying to teach it to people. Because when you teach it, this surface area of yours is become broadened for yourself. Now this area is now much bigger for you, because not just you shared your work, you shared some case studies, you shared some learnings, you shared your experience. Then few points you have to remember. What are advantage, what are disadvantage of this and this and that. You are building a long term, a personal brand for yourself, a strong personal brand for yourself. And yeah, that's how things work. Overall, whatever the work you have done, and one definition that everybody have heard about, that being lucky, have this definition called being on the right time, being on the right place on the right time with the right people. So how this work? Being on the right time is always come from motion and awareness, because you know that this is the right time to do stuff, because you will never know that this is the right time. You will never know this is the right time, because when you try and do. And I remember Ritan mentioned this word, or someone else mentioned this word, that when you knock multiple doors, some doors will open for you, or maybe there will be any door that will open for you. So you will never know what is the right door for you until you hit all the doors. So you try on different times. So that is your right time. You just because you are showing up at every time, you get on the right time easily. You reach to right time easily. Then on right place, because you are taking motion. Just because you are taking steps, just because you're sharing your work, just because you're coming out on social media and sharing your work, talking about yourself, sharing your learnings, connecting with more people, you slowly and slowly get at the right place, right market that value you, and right set of people. As I mentioned, don't just share your work, connect with people, make more friends. And it will be never hard to make friends. I remember in 2022, in 2021, it was way easier to make friends, and right now it is way easier to make friends. You can make me as your friends if you know how to communicate. And last point, which I genuinely want to mention here, just because people, after listening to this podcast, many of you will join communities, many of you will take step. And I believe that you are doer, you will do stuff. Because just listening to this podcast and forgetting it, like, okay, some other podcast and let's watch some other video. Don't do it. Make notes out of it and try to do it in your life. Just do it. Just do it. Join communities, make more friends. And one thing that everybody should understand, and it is must for everyone, learn how to be a good member of community. Like, I have seen people joining groups and become dead, not even talking, not even sharing their work, not even giving their opinions, or not even try to get wrong. The third thing is etiquette. Learn how to talk. First of all, it is very important. Like, I have seen people being in the most, like, you can say, high luck probability wala group, where you can get so many opportunities for yourself. So many. Like, people like founders, people like businessmen, people like social media managers who can hire you for their clients are there. If you don't know how to talk, less stupid, less rubbish, and more like what you know. Like, even if you don't know right or wrong, just try to understand. And I can say this, for many of the time, I join group, I give my introduction, and then I try to observe the environment of the community. I try, because sometimes my starting potential is very low. So I take a bit of time. So if I'm in a meet, I will take a bit of time to understand what is actually happening in the group, what people are talking about, and that led to never let me, get active in some groups. So I am part of many groups, but I'm not active there because some and the another way, these groups are become what you can say a fish market where people are talking anything, any random thing. So you have to first understand how people are talking. And if you know, as I mentioned, you should be aware about where you are and where you can take opportunity from. If some place will never, if any place is not providing you the value, just leave it. No problem in that. Uh, why are you active in a community where you are not even active? Why are you joining any community where you are not active and you are not engaging, you are not getting any value from it? So I'm part of community where people are sharing memes. Yeah, it is okay, you can save that meme and share with your friends and enjoy. That could be a fun. But why are you part of a community where people are just spreading hate, fighting with each other, not even have the time? I am part of my college group, but I never check that. I occasionally check what is actually happening, what files or PDFs they have shared, just to check if I missed anything or not. And most of the time, what they do, they just being part of this fight, college fights. So they are somehow betraying each other, fighting with each other, something like that. So this group will never provide me any value, but I know in the end I will get some document PDF from this group, and even I will take the leverage of it. I will someday I will wake up and I will ask my one of the friend, ki, hey, do you have this notes? Or I can get my classroom friends numbers in case I lost their contact. I can get that. But overall, this group is not going to give me any value. One day when I will leave the college, or one day this group is not necessary for me, I will leave that. So you should know where you can take the value from, and understand the what etiquette of talking. Understand the way you should talk, because at the end, if you don't know how to talk, you will because there's another point. If you look more inviting, you will get more opportunities. And I never had made this mistake, but I always try to avoid this, that I don't try to be negative. In case I am speaking, I will try to give some value, so that even if I am sharing my opinion, I should give some value. I can mention something that is actually have some experience backed, or something that have some credibility. If I don't have any credibility around that, I will not speak. I will not give my opinion, because why would I give opinion if I don't know about that stuff? And sometimes it is, and we should generalize this thing called I don't know. If you don't know, it's okay. You don't know. So yeah, that's my point.
Right, right. I mean, not just fewer communities, but I have also like joined a lot of communities since 2021, and it has helped me a lot. So that community, you can leverage that a lot if you plan it accordingly and make a ton of uh, high leverage friends that you can help each other and create a positive sum game for both the friends.
Perfect.
So yeah, so I mean that has helped me a lot also. So one of the best communities is like Fuelers. So kudos to uh, retain the kind of community and the platform he has created. I think th- that helped us where we are today.
Perfect. You mentioned this term called positive sum game. Can you mention? I believe not many people will know it, or if no one is your previous viewer, maybe not know about this positive sum and zero sum game. So can you tell more about it?
So positive sum game is like a place or things that you do that has the positive impact on all the people around you or involved in, and help them grow. Like for example, like in our scenarios, uh, like I can help you with Notion, you can help me with graphic designing. We can help each other a lot, and the skills that we are respectively good at, and we can you might have a lot of graphic designing references and friends or any resources guide. I might have Notion resources people, and I might know a lot of Notion related people or things, and we can help each other grow in every aspects. I might know some things regarding content, I can help you with that. You might know about something like it's like a helping each other grow, and on the contrary, there is zero sum game that where it says that one you only one person grows and the other doesn't. So it's like that zero sum game, and or no one grows in that scenario. So yeah.
Uh, can I explain it again? Like I can explain. Like I want to add this point.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah. So simply zero sum game. It means that either you win and someone lose, or either you lose someone win. So let's suppose I am friend with Pranav. If I have this zero sum mindset, I will always look places to beat Pranav somewhere. Like if Pranav mentioned ki hey, I'm good at Notion, my thing will be ki I will beat Pranav in Notion thing. I will do more stuff. I will try to spread this bad news about Pranav कि I don't know Notion है ये तो ऐसी बात करता है ठीक है something like that. But when you have this positive sum game, when you have this mindset of positive sum, you know that when you and other people both grow, you both grow all together. When I grow and Pranav grow, we both grow all together. So let's suppose somehow I get famous, Pranav will also get famous. Somehow if I get more opportunities, I can help Pranav to get more opportunities. If Pranav get more opportunity, he can help me. So it work like that. Ki let's suppose I am you. How you can apply this? If you have this mindset, you have seen these people in your surrounding that there is a guy whom you make friend, and he put his effort to get you the good information, to get you the good resources. He tried to give you positive feedback. He tried to help you all the way. Like I remember I have this friend called Harsh Upadhyay. If you're watching this video, please do comment. So he was my friend, and he have intrinsically this positive sum game. That अगर हर्ष कुछ अच्छा करेगा, I will be get the benefit from him. So it is not like कि you look forward to what you are getting, but you look forward to what you can provide. So he helped me with camera. He helped me getting good camera, because when I joined college, I don't had the good camera. I had that phone which I used to record videos before. So I need a phone that have good battery, that have a good quality, because I had the MacBook, but I don't have the camera. So he helped me to get phone from his friends to record videos. We recorded much videos. He also talked with his friend and got bike for us to go somewhere else to record new videos, just because we try new patterns for at different locations. We can try new format. He used to share, still send me reels that hey Harsh, you can try this, why you're not making videos, hey Harsh, you can do this is how things work. And not just he is learning video editing. Now my priority, even though it is not like I am forcing myself, it's my priority to help him to get better opportunities. Whenever I will see any opportunity on social media, I will share to him कि hey Harsh, apply for this, why are you wasting your time, भाई ये कर ले भाई, ये this is how things work for you. I will share him a reel that talk about a new pattern that he can apply for his client. I will share him a reel that mention how video editors can get more clients, or maybe something like that. So this is how things work. If I provide you some, and I have seen this thing, what a permanent feature of every Fueler community members. If you talk about Pranav, Shashank, you, and me, and Ruhi, or anyone else who is member, even Ritin, and even Anshu Bhaiya, or anyone else who is part of Fueler community, I have seen this factor, or I have seen this, intrinsic behavior of positive sum game, that they are ready to uplift you at the mid. And I remember I reached out to Akib, who is I believe CTO of Fueler. I reached out to him and I was asking out ki hey Akib bhaiya, I don't know how to do web development, and I'm very insecure about this thing because I'm into design, and I am very insecure that even if I switch, how things will work. And after 1-2 days, because he was a little busy, he replied to me with a long message that you can do this thing, you can follow this website. So any member of this community, and I don't want to say that any member of just only this community, there are people out there who have who, if you know this thing, and if you're watching this video, you should start following this thing, that you should follow this, you should have this mindset of positive sum, that this is a positive sum game. If you grow and someone else will grow, you both will grow all together. And I remember this is how things work. And I'm mentioning now that people vouch for you. Why people are
Right.
vouching for you, why people are appreciating you, why you appreciate someone, because when you give that person a bit of what confidence. And from this point I just remember that, guys, learn to appreciate, like, anyone or who is doing stuff, who is trying to share their work, or creating a video, starting their podcast, learning any basic skill that you think it बहुत basic है, बहुत basic है. For you it could be very basic, but if someone is trying their best, even though he has not been able to do that, you should appreciate that person. Like, if that is your friend or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter that person should be your friend or not. You should appreciate that person, because you don't know that somehow that person will end up creating a few way, that you have heard this concept of neki kar darya mein dal wala cheez, that do the positive thing out there, and somehow something good will happen with you, and that all together creates so many opportunities for you, you will never know. Just because I know so many people on Twitter, just because that person used to appreciate me, that person was consistent in commenting on my post कि great work buddy, क्या काम किया है, what is the work भाई, fire, ऐसा अगर comment लोग करते हैं, and you end up looking so many times कि you get the habit of looking that person and you know him, फिर आप किसी दिन you became friends. And let me tell you, this work with creators as well. If you appreciate any creator, that person will remember your face. If you and अभी मेरे को idea आया that you should use same DP, and you should use same DP everywhere, so that if you are reaching out, so that if in case you are appreciating me, appreciating any creator, if you reach out to that person on email, he will quickly recognize you. You never know that person. I remember in 2022 I used to comment on Ankur Wariku's post every single day. Whatever he posts, I say okay, I resonate with it, I absolutely agree with that. And I remember I reached out to Ankur for a help, and he replied. That was a one word reply, but just look at that, he replied me where he could probably get 10k 20k daily DMs. Like, that person is getting so many DMs every single day, maybe spam, maybe good, maybe bad, but just look at the stuff, that look at the scenario, that person recognized me, and the chance of opening your email, chance of checking your DM, chance of connecting with you become higher. And this is how things work. This is how things work. So yeah, that's everything that you should know, and I believe you get a few. Let me just give me. So yeah, that's it from my side.
So like for me, it's like the same too, right? My social media handle is the same everywhere, and like and social my profile picture is same everywhere. So if people search me by one by Pranav Pawar, it's like you will find the same person everywhere. So it's like that. And whenever I change my profile picture, it's like I have to take out like 20 odd minutes from my day to like just change pictures from every social media. I have actually written all the social media channels that I need to change the picture, and I like the checkbox on my Notion, and I'm like Twitter changed, LinkedIn changed, YouTube changed. I have to like maintain that checklist every time I change that profile picture thing.
I also carry that, and I remember I used to get same people on my Instagram as follows who I used to connect on my Twitter. So I mostly have connected with so many people who are on Twitter, and I'm connecting with them on Twitter, and now they are following on me on Instagram. We are connecting on Instagram as well, just because we had the same DP. We are easily able to
Right.
connect on LinkedIn because we had the same DP. So yeah, that's how things work.
Right. So I think it's a way too long podcast. I think we should also take a bit break. We can maybe take this thing in a second part podcast maybe sometime later. But yeah, it was like a great talking to you, and maybe we'll surely do a part two of this podcast.
I would love to invite you, Pranav, as well.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
it was a great
Let's.
talk. Yeah,
I'm
it
just
was
saying,
a
let's do
great
it.
talk,
Yeah.
and for sure, we will do it. And yeah, this was a great talk. And yeah, after so long that I talked again, because yeah, just because of bit more work, just because of a little bit of hecticness due to college and work and everything, I was not even able to connect new people on social media. So if you're someone who watching this video and if you want to connect with me or want to connect with Pranav, just follow the same step that we mentioned, that you have to have uh, know that how to reach out to anyone, and that could be very simple. That could be a way easy way to connect with anyone. And let me tell you, like, it is so easy to get into someone's DM and get a reply. Just know what you are doing. uh, and yeah, just don't say hi, hello, and hi bhaiya, yes, stuff. uh, be to the point of what you are saying and what you wanted to get from me. If you wanted to connect with me and Pranav or anyone else, just write a quick message ki, hey, I have watched this podcast, I love this point. And yeah, then you can mention that you want to connect with me on some day about this point or this stuff. So yeah, I will be. And anyone, if you are someone who is a podcast creator, you can invite me as well. I'm thinking to go on more podcast. And in last, go back in any point of this podcast, go at any time, and take a screenshot and share it on social media and mention us, Pranav and me. Pranav is available as by Pranav Pawar, I guess,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I will be available as Sure. You can get the social media links of both of the people everywhere. Just share it on social media. As I mentioned, if you are showing up and you're mentioning that you watched this video or you're a part of this podcast, you don't know how much visibility you get just from this screenshot. So yeah, do it. Like, why are you waiting for? And Pranav, please make sure to get this on the highlight of the podcast. I
Sure,
wanted to
sure.
get
Works,
people
works.
more leverage, because you never know where you get opportunity just by sharing this podcast. So yeah, that's it. And yeah, I am full now. I have said everything that I have thought of, and I get so many points which I just talked in this video, and it's all because we have done so many things for these years, and it was all because we are learning from people who are doing the same stuff, who are doing things which are 10x better than us. So that's it.
Right. Sure. Like truly great points. Like it, like for me also, it was like a learning of a couple of points. But yeah, thank you for being here, Harsh. Like I'll just put our work, your social media links in the description, and yeah, we'll surely do a part two of this podcast.
Yeah, well, very excited for that as well. So yeah, thank you for inviting me, and bye.
Bye bye.